It's me again, and we are definitely doing this world tour thing. The bags are all packed. We've got the shampoo, we've got the toothpaste, we have the cheese slices. We are prepared. The flight from the UK to New York has had no issues. We've landed perfectly, and that is our first destination. There are three teams that are based in New York. You have New York Cosmos, you have New York Red Bulls, but the team that has drawn us to this location is New York City FC. So that's where we are at the moment, but let's have a quick look at the shirt. So as you can see, it's the New York City FC away 2016-2017 shirt. It is the Adizero player issue version, so it has a few extra features that sort of help the players when they sort of wear them running around, sort of perspiration in aiding and whatnot. The shirt design itself is really nice, actually. I love the sort of ripple effect that sort of cascades from the center of the logo out across the body of the shirt. I don't think there are too many shirt designs that follow this sort of pattern. I have a Mainz shirt that Lotto manufactured, and it has a sort of similar sort of effect, but it's not quite as well sort of put together as this one, I would suspect. And plus, I love orange. I'm a sucker for orange on a football shirt. This is the most recent sort of shirt from the United States that I picked up, but I haven't got all that many. It's relatively easy to buy them in the UK. It's just that the value doesn't always drop as low as you would hope. And also, a lot of the shirts follow a very similar template. They don't stand out all that much. So it's I kind of wait until one like this one becomes available at a decent price, and I'll pick it up. I'm sure I picked it up for like 30 or something like that. I don't remember it being $39.99, which is what it's currently retailing at. So maybe I did, but regardless, if you look at the tag, you can see here it was retailing at $150 brand new. So I suppose that sort of gives you an idea of the sort of the lifespan of a football shirt. It's like an inverse bell curve. You start high, it drops off, and then slowly it increases again. Whether or not it reaches its initial price, it may surpass that. Ultimately, it comes down to a lot of external factors. As for the club itself, it was founded in May 2013. So it's obviously a relatively young club, certainly compared to a lot of the teams that I have in my collection. It's just under 7 years old. They played their first game in 2015, and they were the 20th franchise to enter Major League Soccer. When they sort of launched, they signed their three marquee players, and as a Chelsea fan, you could never forget that Frank Lampard sort of left Chelsea and ended up at New York City, and of course ended then back at Manchester City, where he scored against Chelsea. Totally not bitter about that. And also with Lampard, there was Andre Pirlo and David Villa. So that's in their heyday, those three that would have been quite some team. As for their most recent sort of performances, though I suppose it's recent regardless, considering how young they are. Last year, 2019, they actually won the Eastern Conference, which is where they, play their football. They finished top of their table, and finished second overall when you combine both of the sort of tables together. Following the regular season, it ends up with what's known as the MLS Cup playoffs. I suppose to decide who is the ultimate team in, MLS football for that particular season. They didn't do too greatly, to be honest. They got to the semi-finals of the conference, so still in the Eastern Conference, and lost to Toronto FC. Toronto FC ended up being the runners-up overall anyway, so I suppose it's not the end of the world, but you kind of wish that if you'd win your league, you'd at least hope to get to the final and see if you can pit yourself against the Western champion, I guess. that's really it with regards to the shirt. It's one that I kind of really enjoy to own. I don't own too many player issue shirts, generally because if I do, I'm not sure it's the case, because you buy them and it's just the shirt, and also, as you can imagine, they do cost a little bit more. However, we have landed in New York, or shall we say, let's zoom in and ensure that we are in New York, and let's have a look around. We've come and we landed and we're visiting the stadium. It's the Yankee Stadium, so they share the stadium with the baseball team, which is quite interesting, quite unique. We get a lot of sort of football and rugby sharing in the UK, but nothing to do with baseball, of course. It's not really a thing. So you've got the big stadium, and with it being New York, as you can imagine, there's all sorts of wonderful sort of shops and sort of landmarks that one could visit if you so wished. It's we are in the Bronx, which that is what it is. I don't really know all that much about American sort of geographic sort of things, but of course, when you land anywhere, you kind of you want to try out some food. As much as I would love to visit a GameStop or even the Home Depot, or Depot as I suppose they would call it, I do much prefer to eat food. So I have had a look at some of these before just by playing around, so we'll try and do ones that I've not looked at yet. So I've certainly never seen Tiny's Pizza and Pasta, so let's have a look at the photos and see how that looks. So the first one is the decor. I mean, Tiny's, if that's what they're talking about, the size, it almost looks like someone's living room. Ooh, now that does look nice. Anything with pepperoni is a winner. A lot of green stuff, so that looks like maybe peppers, but that does look good. Free delivery. Not sure they deliver to where I am right now, but it's weird that there's an ATM inside the place. It's not often that occurs. Is that coconut? And obviously clearly peppers and some sort of meat. Could be pork, maybe? That looks like obviously a pizza. Is that regular cheese pizza with sesame seeds on the edge? Little decor. Obviously there's the pasta. I presume that's Parmesan and not just sugar. I mean, I want to say macaroni cheese. That does look nice, but I suppose that could be the little greenery that's attached. Now that's more pizza. I'd eat that certainly. And that's like some sort of sub, whereby it looks like there isn't actually any meat in there, unless it's the chicken bit right at the back. But that's in front of someone's keyboard, so maybe in fact, that's a police scanner. So someone from the NYPD's clearly gone and bought that and took it back to his desk, and he's interested in updating it on the Google Maps. What else we got there? I want to find something that's not too far away. Indian Express. I love Indian food, so we can't go wrong here. Now that looks nice. Maybe a smaller portion. Looks like some sort of chicken avocado or something. Interesting. Wow, that is a takeaway that you would expect to see certainly in the UK, sandwiched between two buildings. Ooh, we have a menu. I do like reading menus. Anything fast? Anything spicy? I do like a madras. Cubes of chicken sautéed with mustard seeds, dried red chilies, ginger, and cooked in a coconut sauce flavoured with curry leaves. Don't put coconut in a madras. I'm sorry. Any specials? What specialities we got? Trying to see. I mean, do they do the karai? Chili chicken's always usually nice. Do they do a karai? Because that's sort of a typical standard, certainly in the UK. Doesn't look like it. Menus, just generic photograph of a sort of bridge there. More photographs. The fact that they're not showing any of the food and they're showing weather conditions, that does scare me a little bit. I'll have to find somewhere else that actually wants to show off the food that they offer. Come on, guys. There's a Popeyes, KFC, King's Pizza of Harlem. We've seen some Queen Sheba. King's Pizza, Queen Sheba. We've seen pizza. Let's see what Queen Sheba is. We don't know what that could be. Right, so it looks... I mean, that's a really poorly taken photograph. That is grainy. Right then. Olives, some sort of cheese, like cream cheese maybe? I don't even know what that could be. Decor. It's like a lamb chop with rice. A bit of salad on top. Not sure what cuisine this is. Is that chicken? Or is that pork and rice and some more vegetables? It's certainly rice heavy. And soup and salad. No idea what that is, to be honest. It does look very sort of homely. But yeah. I suppose that's kind of it. And there's all sorts of things. We've got Papa John's. I think there's a zoo around here somewhere. Which could be interesting. But I think we've covered New York, really. We've visited the stadium. We've seen some wonderful eateries. I think it's time for us to travel to Washington, D.C. Let's get the bus and we'll see how long it takes us. So I'll thank you for watching, of course, and I will see you in Washington, D.C.